Hey guys, this is Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I am going to do an end of the month reading for all 12 signs, and so I'm just going to get started. So we're going to start with Aries first, and it's all going to be together. So Aries, we've got the Hangman here. So you're thinking about being stuck, right? You feel kind of vulnerable and like unable to move or make a decision right now. It's almost like you've got to get out of a situation of being in your head, right? Of the anxiety and the nervousness. It's like, I want you to calm down because you'll be able to function better if you do calm down. Take the pressure and the stress off of yourself, right? Let the situation be what it is. Look at the situation and see all of the different variables and only, start to finish, You can't get everything done at one time, you're going to have to maybe start with the easiest thing, what's possible first, second and third, right? Think about the sequence of things, right? Sequence is very important for you right now. Don't let things get out of hand, right? And this is also like warning you not to let things get out of hand and not to trust people too soon, right? You're learning about that. You're remembering not to trust people in terms of like maybe with money or maybe with business as much as you were. This could also be feeling like you were taken advantage of in some kind of way, or you were taken for granted in some kind of way, because this is Neptune and this is Pisces type of energy. And this is also saying like, I'm going to be aware of the type of people that I attract, because this is related to the Empress and the 3, which is talking about attraction as well. And it also talks about karmic attractions, karmic fate, that type of thing, karmic connections, right? So think about what that means to you. What are your karmic connections? What are the karmic attachments that you might have to certain situations or circumstances where you may have felt taken for granted or vulnerable or victimized in some kind of way? This is you trying to get out of feeling uncomfortable about something going forward. And this is also like you being aware of what you attract moving forward. You're going to be a little bit more emotionally defensive about your environment, because this is being more aware of your environment and all of the different elements that are involved as well, and trying to be more in control of some kind of environment. You know what I mean? It could have to do with the ideas, right? Not wanting your ideas to be taken, right? That type of thing, or feeling like something was taken from you, right? And you were the last to know that this thing was taken from you, right? It doesn't have to be like my purse or something like that, but you might be feeling robbed in some kind of way. That is so crazy. Let's look at what your other card is. Oh, the Sun, right? It's like, whatever, because you can start over again. And that's what this says. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again, okay? And the Sun card is here just bringing more. It's like you can get through anything, right? Because these camels can definitely make it through the desert, right? This is bringing light to something. This is how you align yourself as well with the universe. Because look at the pyramids. How are you aligning yourself with everything that's happening? How are you adapting to whatever happened? You know what I mean? This is a champion type of card. How are you going to come out of this on top, right? The Sun is also in your first house. So this is saying that the Sun is in your favor right now, okay? Hello. So let's go ahead and move on to Taurus. Taurus, you're going through a transformation right now, and you're dealing with some things right now. You're uncomfortable with the obstacles that you are facing. You got the Death card, which is actually Scorpio, and that's ruled by Mars. And then you got the Mountain here, which is Capricorn energy, right? You see that Capricorn symbol there? And Mars is actually exalted in Capricorn. So this is saying like you are anxious, and you might be feeling a little bit of aggression towards the obstacles that you might be facing. But this is also asking you to be a little bit more fluid too. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you to make these adjustments too, just because the Death card doesn't necessarily want to do what it's being forced to do by Mars or that higher octane of Pluto. And then you got Capricorn here, which is ruled by Saturn, which is saying that, sometimes you have to take into account what type of what type of you know, the type of strength that you have in each situation is going to change as you move about your life or whatever. So sometimes you might have to do things that you didn't want to do. And that's what Saturn kind of like forces you to do. Capricorn is also talking about take into account what can stay and what can go. So this could be like you downsizing, or this could be you like getting rid of some stuff, you know. It's also cutting people off that you feel like are actually frenemies. You know what I mean? Because the mountain here could be a challenging obstacle or an enemy. Someone, this could be somebody that you work for. It could be somebody that's in a higher position of power, right? Making you feel weak in a situation, or making you feel like they have more control over a situation than you might. But they don't, you know what I mean? You're in control of your life. They don't own your life. Your life is not in the palm of their hand. You know what I mean? Contrary to what you might be fearing here, your life is not in the palm of their hand, honey, right? And all you have to do is choose to cut the fat, right? You know? At the end of the day, no one is going to be in control of your situation unless you allow them to. Right? And also you have to be aware of where you might be clinging to some things that you need to let go of, right? You could be beating a dead horse, or you could just be trying to like hold on to something out of spite, or, you know, you might be going cold just because you out of spite, because the death card is cold and the mountain is cold. Both of those, okay? You might even be trying to detach emotionally, right? So that you can maintain a sense of control in the situation. You're like, well, if I have emotional control in the situation, then I'm the one. You know what I mean? But maybe it's not about that, because the situation actually is controlling you, because you want to have the emotional control in that situation. So it's like your thought process is on having emotional control in the situation, so the situation is actually controlling you. Okay? So here we go. We're gonna move on. Gemini. What y'all doing? Okay. It went from the Death card, which is 13, to the Temperance card, which is 14. That's kind of cool. So you're progressing. There's some magic going on with you, Gemini, right? Because you got the Temperance card, which is like an alchemical process of spiritual enlightenment, you know? And it's like elements are coming together in your internal, right? And your external. Your internal world is meeting your external world, and there's some magical things that are happening. It's a very spiritually insightful, okay? And you could be uncovering some secrets for yourself. And these are secrets that are being brought to you by spirit, and these are things that maybe you just weren't noticing before because they were unavailable to you. You were ignoring certain things. You weren't willing to open it, right? Because you may have felt like there was something too precious to discover, right? That you didn't want to know. You know what I mean? It's kind of like enter at your own risk, that type of deal. But now you kind of have gone there, and now you're realizing that something needs to change and something has to change because something has become obsolete. You know what I mean? And it's like, just because you expect something doesn't mean it's going to work out that way. Definitely with the Temperance card, because I can mix vinegar and baking soda and be like, oh my God, I didn't know that was going to bubble up like that. Let me try again. You know what I mean? So it does have to do with false starts. It does have to do with, you know, committing to something, you know, committing to yourself, committing to your job, committing to your well-being as well. You know what I mean? Because you can't get lost in the magic of things and not also be grounded in the real world. You know what I mean? So yeah, we want to be changing and we want to be going through stuff, but we got to also stay grounded in the real world and remember that this is something that we are going through and that everybody else isn't going through the same thing that we are. You know what I mean? So it could be a very spiritually sensitive time for you right now, because, you know, when people are mixing together elements like coming up with the coronavirus vaccine, or coming up with the elements that create a very sophisticated machine of, I don't know, opposing force, you know, then, you know, the situation is very challenging and sensitive, yet very much needed. Okay? But yeah, we're getting used to something right now. We're getting comfortable with like a change that has just happened, right? And we are getting comfortable. We're getting ready to sit down. Some of you could find a really great book that you're going to immerse yourself in. You know, and it's going to start to change you spiritually. Some of you could be reading some spiritually enlightening books, right? There could be some books of philosophy that you're starting to learn and love, right, from. And it's kind of like bringing you into this place of having compassion for the human experience again with both of these cards being here, you know. You are compassionate about the human experience as well. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so let's go ahead with Cancer. Cancer, you're working. Cancer, you're determined. Cancer, it's like your work is being seen. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. You don't have to put any glitter on it. You don't have to dress it up with nothing. You get, it's like this is casual and people are living for it. You know what I mean? You're casually doing something and people are living for it. Just because just because it's the Eight of Pentacles, and I know this card because this is like the sun. Bam, authenticity, right? The courage to do you, be you all the time, right? And then it's like for your mind. You're being appreciated for your mind. You're being appreciated for what your mind manifests in this real world. You know what I mean? Because it's like the knowledge that you are dropping, right? Like gold nuggets, okay? Or pentacles or stars, right? So maybe you're getting a gold star for your work. You know what I mean? I don't know. That could be it though. Okay. But you definitely have your eye on the prize. That's basically what this is. And the prize is really just like the service, right? The authenticity of the service. And that's what this Eight of Pentacles is talking about, and how that acknowledgement to the authenticity of the service is actually bringing a powerful transformation to your work. And the powerful transformation that's happening to your work is actually motivating you to do more of that, right? You are the author of your reality. You know what I mean? So when you're ready to transform and when you are ready to change things, you can do just that. You know, it's talking about adaptability. You know, some of you watch that movie Adaptation, right? That is, I want to say Sigourney Weaver. It is totally not. What is her name? Devil Wears Prada? Why can't I think of it? What is the woman's name? Meryl Streep. Okay, watch that. But then we're also thinking of being innovative too, because you got the parks card here. When I look at the parks card, I think of places that everybody goes to share, you know, parks, plazas, malls, you know, stores, things like that, places to maybe shop. This is card number 20, and 20 reduces to a 2, and the second house is a money house like Taurus. So this is something that is being provided to people that they are enjoying. You know, it could be social media, it could be content, right? Because social media and like platforms and like apps and things like that, those are places that people go to sort of like commune. They're like common areas, right? So this is talking about common areas, okay? Commonalities, that type of thing. But Eight of Pentacles, definitely your work is being done very well. You are saving money, or you are managing your money a lot better, or you are able to manage your money in a way that you weren't able to before. And it's giving you a sense of freedom. So your authenticity is giving you a sense of freedom in terms of like what you are doing, what you are producing, how you are feeling, you know, and you have an emotional attachment to your well-being, right? And we're trying to merge all of that together. Yeah, I love it. All right, so, you know, we're going to move on. Like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot there. I'm Providence Tarot on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel there. And you can follow my personal account on Instagram, which is NYC Kendrick. Okay. Bye. All right, so now we are at Leo. So Leo, we're going to flip over your card from the Druid Craft Tarot. All right, you got your card. It's Saturn in Leo. So this is the planet that opposes you, or that is across from you, being in your face. So, you know, this could be reality that could be hitting you in the face just because it's Saturn being in your first house, especially if you're a Leo rising. Oh gosh. Reality is hitting you in the face about something, and you're realizing that, you know, there are certain obstacles that you are going to be facing now, right? Don't be afraid of that. Don't let that intimidate you. You know what I mean? And if something is not working for you, or if there's a way for you to adjust to this reality, then yeah, let's do that. Because Saturn is showing you what is real now, and it's saying, like, you don't want to fight this reality. You actually want to make it easier for yourself by pulling out of a bad situation, or, you know, there is something, this could be burning money, you know, or money that has to be burned in some kind of way, because it's Saturn, it's a 5, and it's Leo, you know what I mean? And maybe it's like, because you're passionate about something, you're willing to spend money on it, right, to resolve a conflict, okay? And then, you know, the 5 of Wands is also talking about attachments that you might have to the way things have been, right? And having to release that attachment that you have to the way things may have been, or like the way that, like, in terms of acting or behaving or action, or what it's possible for you to do, because Saturn makes things possible in different ways than Jupiter does. Jupiter makes things possible, and Saturn makes things possible through hard work. So something is going to be possible, but it's going to be possible through patience, hard work, determination, and also releasing your ego and letting your ego fall to the wayside, so that the real work that needs to be done can get done, and your ego isn't kind of like pushing the work that needs to be done in the forehead and preventing it from, like, you know, taking the position that it needs to take. So this is saying that you are being forced to take a position on something that may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, or like, you know, like you are hitting a wall with something, or like you are climbing a wall. You know, you're being put to the test in some kind of way, shape, or form right now, Leo, and that is okay, because you can handle it. And this is also related to that trine energy that's going on with Aries season. You know, Venus and the Sun are conjunct right now as they are in Aries, and this 5 is related to the Hierophant. That's Venus ruled by Taurus. You know, a lot of things are just kind of like, whoa, all over the place right now. So we're having to get control of a situation, and that's what the 5 of Wands is asking us to do, gain control of a situation, you know. Yeah. So this is okay. So this is kind of like a little bit of a resolution too. And this says that you are getting control of the situation, right? Because this is Saturn in Taurus. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Saturn in Leo, and then your Lenormand card is the ring, the engagement ring, which is Taurus. So this is control of something, right? This is control that comes from an offer, right? Or this is stability that comes from an offer, or stability that comes from an investment, right? So this is saying that you have solved a problem, or a problem will be solved because you are investing in it in the right ways. And timing also is something, right? Be aware of timing, that type of thing. Remember that you are investing in life, in your life, and you want your life to be comfortable and beautiful, so you need to invest in that type of stuff. Invest in comforts, but quality as well. So we're making a purchase too. We're investing in the purchase of something, the quality of something. It's funny, there's a 2 and a 5 here as well, which is like Taurus and Leo. Yeah, but this is something paying off, thankfully. Something is going to pay off in the end, okay? Or not in the end, but something is going to pay off that's going to bring, you know, bring a sense of harmony and pleasure back into your life, even though right now it seems like, oh my gosh, this is hard. It's okay. All right, we're going to move on to Virgo. Virgo, you got the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is like, you know, your relationship. It's a marriage card. It could be saying that, you know, there's a very passionate lover somewhere. You could be very passionate about your lover, or, you know, it could also be, it's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast type thing. So some of you guys might be watching Beauty and the Beast, or maybe like Disney movies or something like that. It's very much like romantic comedy, rom-coms, like that type of love thing, right? It's also like doing things that kind of like are, you know, celebrating your union, like going places together, doing things together. It's almost like you come full circle. Some of you made it through something, right? You could just be appreciating your partner and your marriage and your love all over again, that type of deal. The Four of Wands is Venus being in her 12th house from Taurus, so it's like you're able to see something now that you didn't see before. You know, Virgo, you're able to see something now that you didn't see before, or maybe you're ready to see something now that you weren't ready to see before, okay? It is a 4, so it is related to Cancer, right, which is the 4th house, and that talks about home and foundation. So you could be establishing a new foundation in your relationship, or you could be making something, somebody could be learning the fundamentals of, you know, marriage or that type of thing, of being in a union with somebody. And you know, in order to make things work. So it could be making things work. One of the partners could be being a little bit selfish right now, you know, thinking about themselves, and one is doing a little bit more work than the other. This also is kind of like expectations too. The expectations that you may have for your lover or somebody, you could be placing these expectations upon yourself, right? You could be trying to prove yourself to someone too, to your lover in some kind of way. I don't know why that is. Maybe you feel the pressure of trying to prove yourself, or maybe you just feel like somebody makes you feel like they always have something to prove, or you feel like you always have something to prove to them, you know, and it could be exhausting for you. You could be feeling burnt out too in some kind of way, because you're trying to get somebody to know something, or feel something, or prove something, or be something, or do something, or whatever it is, you know. Or you could just have a lot of things going on, and you're burning yourself out in that kind of way because you're trying to bring balance to a situation. Because the Four of Wands is talking about balance, right? Balance that comes through assertion and acting. So you may have to act on some things to balance them out, right? So it's saying get up. This is not a time for you to be like sitting down. It's a time for you to be getting up. Some of you could be dealing with Aries energy, or some of you could be dealing with Cancer energy, right? Some of you could be feeling like you're parenting your partner or mothering your partner, or they could be like feel like they're parenting or mothering you in some kind of way. You could be getting annoyed with that, right? Or vice versa. Anyway, let me move on to your Lenormand card. And that's the Tower, which is more like Saturn. So, you know, the Four of Wands is like, okay, I know that I have a little bit of willpower and control in the life that I am creating. I need to create boundaries as well. That's what the Four of Wands is saying. You need to create some healthy boundaries in your relationship, because Saturn definitely is exalted in Libra, which is a sign of relationships, and Venus is the ruler of Libra, the sign of relationships. And right now Venus is in Aries, which is talking about, you know, opposing energy, right? And this is kind of like energy that opposes and energy that squares. So these are things that need to be resolved, conflicts that need to be resolved, but they can be resolved by creating a sense of boundaries, healthy boundaries within the relationship. You know what I mean? There's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes, you know, whatever. Respect your partner. All right. So now we're moving on to Libra. And with Libra, we are looking at the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is the moon in Libra. So this is the full moon that's coming up for you. And this is amazing that you're getting this card. And then you also got this card next to it. So this is talking about love, and it's talking about relationships. Somebody could be saying something to you. Somebody could be revealing a secret to you. Or somebody could be revealing some feelings to you, because this is the moon in Libra. And this is very much related to the High Priestess, which is secrets. It's very much related to the Judgment card, which is something being revealed, or something being like received or known now. Something that you didn't know, you now know, because this is kind of related to Gemini and also Aquarius, which is like knowledge and wisdom, secret knowledge, secret wisdom, okay? Somebody could just be sitting on something that they know, or you could be like, somebody's ready to reveal something that they've been feeling to you, so now that you know, or maybe you are like feeling that too. I don't know. It could be you. Libra, I just don't know, because, I mean, what is that? This is like, maybe you might be afraid to say something to someone, or somebody might be afraid to like, I don't know. Somebody's being affected, right? Emotionally affected by the choices or the decisions that someone is making or is not making. This is also asking you, like, telling you that if you don't make a decision, right? If you keep sitting on something, then you'll just be sitting on something, right? It's time to get up and get moving and make a decision. Be more definitive in the choices that you make, because when you are definitive in the choices that you make, you get more things done, right? The Two of Swords is related to relationships as well, right? So it could also be going your separate ways, or it could also be like taking a different path, right? You could be on a different path than someone. You could be following your passion. That's what this is saying. Follow what you're passionate about. Definitely with the Two of Swords being here, follow what you're passionate about. Thinking about how you feel about, you know, where you have power, right? And part of your power comes from your ability to make your own decisions, right? And it's also talking about like the power of love in some kind of way. That song, right? Maybe you want to listen to those oldies tonight. You know, power, definitely, because it's the moon, cardinal energy, Cancer. And then it's a 2, which is related to Pluto, 20, right? Judgment card. And then this is Libra, which is another cardinal sign. So this is leadership. So taking the lead, making decisions. You know, maybe you want to reach out and tell somebody you like them, or whatever that is. I don't know. Maybe you need to like understand that you are loved, right? No matter what decision you make, or no matter what you decide. But there's definitely a sense of relationship coming in here, or like somebody telling you how they feel about you, or maybe you realizing that somebody actually does have feelings for you. Whatever that is, I don't know, man. But this is like relationship next to the heart card, right? What are you passionate about? You need to remember what you're passionate about too, and do more of that, right? Have the courage to make difficult choices, right? Anyway, we're gonna move on. Scorpio. Oh my God, what was that? Oh, it was a citrine. No, citrine. Yeah? What is that stuff called? Pyrite. It was a pyrite. So, Scorpio, you are kind of like at the end of your rope with something, or you're like you're taking a different path, right? It's like you have now realized that you've reached the end of a cycle. You've outgrown something. You're putting the past behind you, and you're following your inner light. You know, the Hermit talks about an inner knowing, an epiphany, and trusting what you know to be true for yourself, right? This is being on a path seeking your own truth, right? Because it's related to the 9th house, it's related to the moon, it's related to you having an individualized experience and you wanting to try something new or do something different, right? Because it's the stars cards. It's like your dream, your wishes, your hopes and dreams. And also like sometimes your hopes and dreams will go against tradition, or will go against the things that you've been doing for so long, right? That's why you're taking a different course of action. It's definitely related to Mercury here. Definitely related to Virgo and making some adjustments. Definitely related to like having a new opportunity to like go a different route or go a different path. or something like that. Sorry, we continue Scorpio in this video, but we're going to end it and get ready to do the other videos. But yeah, Scorpio, you are definitely, you know, moving on. You're ready to have a new experience. You're trying to go past the margins or the boundaries, right? So this is kind of like going past boundaries, right? Breaking barriers here. You're breaking barriers and you're moving past the boundaries that you may have placed upon yourself or that history has placed upon you, right? Okay, or even tradition. Like you're doing something that you haven't done yet. So you're kind of like going against your own tradition, but you're following your own inner light, right? And your own intuition too. You're going with your gut about something. Okay, and the star card here is just saying that you've been guided to take this action. You know, and it's like you want to have a new experience, a different experience. You want to, you know, that's the quality of life too, because the Hermit does talk about the quality of life and how it changes as you move forward, and you want to have new experiences too that are going to add to your quality of life or enhance it in some kind of way. And the star card is talking about having your experience being enhanced. Okay. All right, let's move on. Sagittarius, what's going on with you? All right, you got your own card, which is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is saying like, oh, you were hurt by somebody. Whether it was, it was a female perhaps, because you got the lady here, Sag. Or maybe lady, if you were here, you may have been hurt by another lady. Or you could have been hurt by this Nine of Wands person, which is giving me very much like, you know, I don't know. It could have been an older gentleman who was still trying to be in his, like, player mode. Okay? This could also be someone that is just disappointed. You're disappointed in the way someone acted, Sag. You're disappointed in the way they acted. You're disappointed in, like, them playing the victim as well. You know what I mean? So somebody could be playing the victim when really they, like, do a lot. They aren't, like, no. This is how this looks, right? You could also just be choosing to keep a boundary, a physical boundary between you and someone else. You just don't want to be around them anymore, right? This is what this is. I don't want to be around you anymore, right? I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be actively involved anymore with you. I want to keep you as far away from me as possible, Sagittarius. And this could just be like needing to get away from someone, you know? Probably like tired, exhausted of arguing and trying to prove something to them, you know? They could be the person that doesn't realize that they may have hurt you in the past and now they're confused as to why you're so defensive. Or maybe they're trying to act like they were the ones that were hurt by you, but you're sitting pretty being like, you are playing the victim and you know you're not. Well, we're gonna let you sit over there and play the victim with your arm in a sling. Right. We done picked ourselves up, right? You're still remembering stuff. You're still remembering stuff, or you're still going on and on about something that you really aren't, you know, right. That you really aren't, that you really don't know a lot about. I don't know why I'm saying that. Because it could be about you, you know. Or, you know, this Nine of Wands is someone that is questioning their actions and maybe the actions of someone else too. But this is Venus right here. This is almost like Empress energy. You know, somebody could be trying to protect the Empress. This could be spirituality, right? This could be like your ancestors perhaps, right? Something, energy, protecting you, the Empress, right? As you are in this reading, Sag. Anyway, let's move on. Capricorn. Prince of Cups. Somebody's coming in to offer an apology, definitely, emotionally too, right? Because you got the Prince of Cups and you got the Moon, right? The Moon is literally here twice. So, I don't know, maybe you're dealing with that Capricorn energy when somebody, or Sag energy when somebody did somebody wrong, and now they're coming in to apologize. You see that? So basically for you, Capricorn, somebody's going to apologize. Somebody's going to offer you something maybe that you need, or somebody's going to offer you some compassion. Somebody's going to offer you some love, some friendship, some therapy, that type of thing. Or this is probably saying that your task right now is to offer someone some compassion or some love or some understanding, or you need to do that for yourself, right? That's the work. That's the challenge. That's the homework here, because the Prince, the Knights, they have a job to do. They're like, you know, the porters, or like the courier services, right? So this is saying like this is something that is gonna be done because somebody has to do it, or it's like a show of love or something like that. It's almost like emotional healing, or something that kind of is like you offering a show of love to a stranger, or perhaps somebody that is in need of something. You know, you could do anything. You could give somebody some money, or you could put a bag together with some things that are in it that people might need who's living on the street. You know what I mean? It could be a shopping bag or something. It could be a backpack or something. It could be it could be anything. You know what I mean? Just like, because that's also how you feed your spirit, and you kind of like tell God in the universe, you know what, I know that there's suffering out here, and I know that somebody who is very unexpected of me coming up to them and giving them something, or helping them with something, or whatever, this is a kind act that is not going to go unappreciated. So I feel like that's what's going on here for some of you. You might be showing someone some kindness or some love, or somebody could be doing it for you. I think it's you doing it for them, and it could be a stranger, because the moon does talk about like the compassion that we have for strangers that we see along the way, right? Emotional connections that you have to strangers, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna move on. Aquarius, you're dealing with money worries, right? And you're also like, you know that you're gonna have to pay for something, or you know that like eventually like you're gonna have to pay something off, right? Totally, we all know that. But the Ten of Pentacles is also talking about how you're destined to kind of like do well anyway, because you got the cross here as well, right? And the cross is talking about destiny and fate, and anything that is meant to come around full circle, or something that you can definitely count on happening, right? So the Ten of Pentacles is saying like you're thinking about money. It's a wealth card, so you're managing your wealth. You know what I mean? You're trying to manage your wealth, and you're trying to accumulate some at the same time. And this, you know, this is like some of you coming into probably more money, and now you're having to like manage it, or you're having to like you know keep a sense of control about you. As tax season comes around, it's like stimulus checks, people are getting them, people are doing their taxes, they're probably getting their refund. So it's like, calm down, you know, don't get too crazy here. Make sure that you have control over your finances, and be very aware of how your money works for you. You know what I mean? And you work for your money. Make your money work for you, right? You work a job to get your money, but make your money work for you once you get it. You know what I mean? And this is kind of like being intellectually attached, right? It's almost like you want to design your relationship, because the Ten of Pentacles are talking about marriages, right? And how you are connected to something, right? Full circle. It's the growth of something, how you grow into your responsibilities. So it's saying your responsibilities have grown. So some of you might be seeing some differences and having to adapt to them, right? It may take a lot of work to adapt to these changes now that you have like this type of responsibility, or, you know, this accountability in whatever kind of way, shape, or form, you know. This could also be financial improvements that could be happening. You could be paying something off for sure, you know, definitely. Okay, nice. Pisces. Okay, Seven of Wands. This is, you know, overcoming something. You know, it's Mars and Leo. So you're definitely overcoming maybe like a task, or you could be overcoming, you know, a fear that you have of facing something, because this is a card of leadership, but this is like leading with faith. You know, this is asking you to have faith as you move forward, right? You've got to have faith. You've got to act and be in that faith. Act as if you have faith. You know what I mean? Because that's how you know you really do have it, right? You don't have, it's not about what you say, but it's about how you act and what you do. You know what I mean? Believe that things are going to go well, and they are going to go well. No one really knows what happens. Yeah, like I told my friends the other day, people who go into war, they know what they're going into war for. They're going to fight, but they don't know who they're going to be fighting. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going into war and I know what that means, but I don't know what's going to happen when I get there. Are they going to have, you know, cannons? Are they going to have bow and arrows? Are they going to have guns? Are they going to have bricks they throw? You know what I mean? You just got to be ready for anything. And that's what the Seven of Wands is talking about. And it's not saying be in fear while being ready for anything. It's saying, like, don't be scared. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like the energy that you are putting out there in the universe, or the energy that you are reflecting on, or the energy that, you know, your external world feeds off your own energy, right? So you got to be your own energy in the way that you want your external world to taste it. You see what I mean? So stand up for yourself, right? And also, you like ask the questions that you need to ask, right? And also, this is saying, like, continue to have courage, be strong, right? Your spine, right? It's saying that you might be under pressure, but it's saying that, like, you can make it through whatever this pressure is. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't hit a wall, you're just stepping over it, right? So you haven't actually hit a wall, you're stepping over it. And you're actually standing up for yourself, what you believe in. You're having faith in the process and the situation. You know, this situation definitely calls for you to have faith in what's being done here to kind of like come in and save the day, right? So the Seven of Wands does talk about something coming in to save the day. Right, you're beating yourself up over something, right? Stop feeling guilty about what it is that you don't have control over, right? So that's the thing. It's like the anxiety and all of that, you know, thinking too much in your head. You know, your emotions are affecting your ability to think clearly, and your thoughts are affecting the ways that you are actually acknowledging your emotions, and if they are real or like some kind of like amplified illusion that you are projecting in your own head. You know what I mean? So we're going to kind of like try to like pull back from that. You got to detach from that sense of beating yourself up about something, right? There's only so much that you can control, right? All you can do is just put that positive energy out there. Tell yourself what it is that you need to tell yourself, right? If it's, you know, I don't know, talking to yourself, whatever it is, get it done. Also, you know, prayer is not bad either. Meditation, prayer, get your mind right. You know, this is aggression, right? So there could be just some things that you are trying to like, you really want them to happen, right? You really want them to happen. It's like this. I really want this to happen, you know? And just be aware of how you react to everything around you and how you relate to things. Because the Sevens are talking about how you might be emotionally reactive towards the feelings of others, towards the actions of others, towards your own actions, towards your own feelings. You might be emotionally reactive towards, like, you know, anything. It could be the dirt on the ground, the dirt that get on your shoes, the thread in your jacket that just won't, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Like, maintain a sense of control and poise about you as you, like, go throughout the day, even if there are certain things that come at you that are unexpected that, you know, might want to raise your attention to a lower vibrational energy that you could project out there. Don't do it. You see what I mean? All right, Pisces, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot there. It's also Providence Tarot on YouTube, and my personal account on Instagram is NYC Kendrick. So thank you for watching these videos. And, you know, I posted some videos last week. They're dance videos, very spiritual, I think, just because dance is spirituality and it's a connection to something that we can't see, but that is manifested through our bodies. And also, there are videos up for the first half of March. That's proof read number 1, proof free number 2 is up for the second half of March or the end of March. This could be the end of March video too. So thanks for watching. Bye.